So I have an idea. I am going to surprise my husband with a bathroom makeover. I haven't done much planning. He is traveling for 3 weeks. So I said, like, if any time, now's the time. If you're watching this, it means that I relatively like the results, so we'll see how it goes. First, I will show you a before. Don't mind the mess. It is extra messy, but this is what we're dealing with. Actually, the bath mats I just picked up at Home Depot last night. So on the walls they have a color called Thin Ice. This is the builder's countertops, cupboards, and floor. This is where we keep our laundry. This is his sink. Over here is the shower. Again, it's really dirty. I'm gonna be cleaning it. It's time to clean it anyways. And then I'm like, hey, I saw some YouTube videos about this. Let me give it a try. Again, I'm sorry for the garbage. This is the bathtub. Nice windows. Again, just pretend that isn't there. But vanity. And then this is my side. That's my closet. The door is closed for a reason. And then this is the toilet. So we are going to be, I even need a new vent cover. The plan is to paint on a black marble countertop on all 3 counters. We're gonna paint the cupboards white, put on black hardware, handles, and we're gonna paint the floors white. The floors, the bathtub, which way? The backsplash, and even the shower. So we've been wanting to renovate our bathroom for a very long time, and money was the biggest thing stopping us, but also we don't know if this is our forever home. So we always been like, oh, should we spend the money to invest in it now, or should we just save that money and put it towards the next house? So I've found a couple, I don't know, cheats to get that luxury feel, but without that luxury price. So stay tuned and let me know what you guys think. Okay, so I'm just getting ready to go to Canadian Tire to go get my supplies. Just having some tea. I am feeling a bit sluggish. I didn't get a lot of sleep because my husband was traveling, but he's arrived in his hotel. Oh, he went home to Nigeria, so to visit family. Me and Uriah were gonna go with him originally, but plans changed, so it's just him. And we always travel together. We've been married. This October will be 7 years, and I don't think we've ever not traveled together. But I should hopefully get some more sleep because I'm taking 2 weeks off of work, which, well, it's gonna be 3 weeks. I'm gonna make it 3 weeks off of work because I've never had 3 weeks off of work, even when I had my secular job. And now that I run my own business, I get to do what I want. So it was supposed to be 2 weeks, but this last 3 days was supposed to be off work, but I've still been working, even with my out of office and everything on. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I like to make sure things go the way they're supposed to. So that's part of the problem too. But I'm gonna take 3 weeks off, and this is 3 weeks that he's traveling, so I'm gonna use this time to do a big surprise. watching a lot of other videos on people using this same countertop paint. A lot of people used this cleaner, so I decided to buy it as well and use it. It was my first time using it and it actually turned out pretty great. So when you read the instructions, it does actually say to use wax paper, but when I went to the store I forgot to grab wax paper, so I just had to use what I had in the home. So when you're putting wax paper or foil paper, whatever, on the wall, leave a bit of a gap at the bottom so there is a space for the painter's tape to stick to the wall. Now this was definitely the most tedious part. It probably took me about 10 minutes just to do the whole sink, but you got to do it piece by piece. And you really have to try and be accurate and get right around the rim, otherwise when you're painting there will be gaps. So here you'll see I have a gap to the right side there, and I just covered it over with another piece of plastic wrap. But in the end I found that that is not the smartest thing to do because some of the epoxy did slip through the cracks there. So my suggestion would be to get one sheet that is big enough just to cover the whole cupboards. And now here are all the items that came in the kit. It pretty much came with everything you need. I actually bought the plastic wrap and then realized it came with some inside. This cardboard is just basically a testing area for you to try some of the sprayer. The only thing that I wish I would have had in this kit is just a handle for those small white rollers. So lucky enough I did have one at home, so I was able to use it. Okay, the final walkthrough before we start painting. Kind of looks like, I don't know, a quarantine scene. Something from a movie. So when you're painting, first you want to use the foam brush and basically just cut all the edges. So you want to get all the small corner pieces where the roller may not be able to tuck into. So you start off with those and then go into the roller afterwards. And be careful of the dripping. You can see there is dripping a bit, and I should have wipe that right away. So if that does happen, just take care of it right away. One thing I did forget to do was remove the caulking first. So if you want a cleaner look, definitely remove the caulking first, and then the paint will adhere a lot more smooth around the base of the sink. So I was a little concerned at first because the paint did seem a bit bubbly, but it actually did dry perfectly smooth. Here I'm just showing you the caulking seeping through that I forgot to remove in the first place. I thought it was just me and the way I painted, so I used a sponge brush to try and go over it, but that actually made things worse. So I went back over with the roller to get a smooth, consistent finish. And here is the dried product. You see how smooth it is? I actually loved it so much just on its own. And then here you'll see that infamous caulking peeping through. Okay, so definitely use the testing cardboard that comes with the kit, but in general you just gotta do sporadic motions in every which direction, and you don't want to hold the spray can in one position for too long. You want to do strokes with it. And be mindful because you don't want to get to the point where you just have too much going on. And when you're done drying, as you can see my mom pointing out, make sure you cut all of those corners so that it doesn't dry in a weird triangle shape. So I actually got to the point where I thought it was too much and I just wanted to start over again, which I didn't, but if you do, it's very easy to fix. You actually just sand down the white marble part, and then you take your black roller, paint over it again, let it dry for a few hours, and then go back over with the spray marble again, and it'll look good as new. And with this back table, I found it a lot easier to do the edges first, and then I could really focus on spreading out the rest of it on the base of the table. You want to make sure you go every which way, different timing, different strokes, just mix it up. But always keep in mind, less is actually more. So at this part, you're just lightly sanding it. If you press too hard, you will take off that white marble part. So you want to sand it very lightly. So now pouring this on, you do want to put on a generous amount. And again, you use the paintbrush to cut all the edges, get all the small creases, and then you go in with the roller. Forgot to cut around the sink, so I'm just doing that quickly.
And this epoxy is self-leveling, so you really don't have to worry about spreading it around too much. As long as all the areas are covered, you can see easily it will level itself out. Some people do use a torch to get rid of any little bubbles or anything. One of the reasons why I bought this kit is because you didn't need a torch, and so it's not necessary, but if you would like to take the chance, go right ahead. And now for the peeling. So the instructions do give a timeline of about, I believe it's 2 to 3 hours after you've done the epoxy. When it's not fully dry is the best time to remove all of the taping and the wax or foil paper, whatever you use, so that it doesn't actually dry to the countertops. So I did have a few hiccups, which I fixed afterwards with some touch-up paint, but overall it went pretty well. So here I was actually a bit surprised. The painter's tape, even after just a few hours, did actually start to peel the paint off of the wall. So I did have to touch that up afterwards as well. And make sure you also check your edges underneath the counter to keep those edges smooth even underneath. Now for the sink. So right there you can already see I did mess up and make a boo-boo. But the good thing about the sink is because you're supposed to remove the caulking in the first place, once you're done this whole process, you're supposed to reapply new caulking. So any little edges like you can see right here, when you apply new caulking, it covers it right up. And even with the painter's tape, a little bit did get onto the sink, but again, that can be cleaned up afterwards.
This messed up here.
That's here?
No, messed up here when I peeled. Over here, I messed up. No, sorry, here there's a
bubble.
No, a hair. A long hair. I picked it out with a tweezer and I dabbed it, but the thing is getting hard now, so it's hard. See, look right there. See, there's another hair.
And over here, some of the epoxy did spill onto the actual cupboards, but luckily I am painting those next, so I'm able to sand those down and cover that up. We are finito. Stay tuned for part 2 where I do the cupboards.